shopping malls, take daddy's credit card, charge it all. They're living on an island. Oh, we're living on Long Island. Oh, you know it's so much fun. I'm living on the island. I'm just basking in the sun.
Hey, Anthony, give me a vodka. Is that your Camaro? It's gorgeous.
You know, I went to high school with Billy Joel.
I go to Hamptons on Friday night. I party hard till sunshine bright. Then I'm sitting in traffic on Sunday night. I'm living on an island. Yeah, living on Long Island. Oh, you know it's so much fun. I'm living on the island. I'm not hurting anyone. Ah, let's live.
Hey there, Islanders. If you're going out to the beach, you better get an early start. Traffic is miserable.
Well, I'm coming of age in Old Bethpage, trying to get down in Levittown, dancing in the dark in Floral Park. I think I'll stay in Oyster Bay because I'm living on an island.
Ciao, I'm a living on the island. I'm a living on the island, Long Island. I'm making a pizza. I'm making a pizza. But I stop and making a pizza right now because it's a Tuesday, 6 o'clock, and I got to watch my favorite show, the Gagootz show. And we got a great show tonight. We got a special guest, Rhonda Handsome is going to come all the way from the city. You've seen her in many movies like, what's that movie, very famous, A Pretty Woman. She was in the Trading Places. And tonight she's going to be on the Gagootz show. And you know, it's been that kind of a day. Anyway, now I'm going to introduce you to your wonderful, beautiful host, Nicola Monaco, and special guest host, what's her name again? Annie Gambina. I'm only kidding. I'm a kid. I'm a no kidding you not. Ciao.
Yes. Thank you.
Thank you. What's your name? What's his name?
Yeah. He doesn't know what's going on today. That's all right. He's had one of those days.
It is one of those days,
one
Benny.
of those lives. Oh, Lord. Annie, thank you for coming back.
Oh, it's my pleasure. I always love coming here.
The last time we had you on, we had you with Wally.
Wally Collins, yes.
Yes, and we discussed his book, You Never Know.
You never know.
And you have your book. Mine's in my car, I think. I think it's in my car. And you were doing some workshops with him. You guys were together and doing some inspirational workshops, which I attended one of them. It was awesome. Wrote down a lot of feelings. I was like, I need another piece of paper. Can I have another piece of paper? One more piece of paper over here, please.
What did we do that night? Oh, was it forgiveness?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was forgiveness.
Forgiveness.
Yeah, that's what it
more
was.
than saying sorry.
Yeah, people were writing. They would go through.
They were writing all right. I had like 3 pages. I was like, oh my God, I have so much to get down. But that was good. It was informative, and I felt good after I left. I felt like it was helpful. But, you know, regardless of that, what are you up to these days? You run an open mic now?
I do. Yes, I started an open mic in Bethpage at One Eye Jack's, and it's really good because I get practice, you know, hosting, even though it's an open mic.
Right.
Like I get practice, you know, just keep introducing the people, that kind of thing. So I really enjoy it.
How do you find the hosting aspect of it? Do you try to do some crowd work with them? Is there anybody? Is it mostly comedians, or you have people in the audience?
We do have civilians from time to time.
You do?
Not all, well, it's right next to Popeye's restaurant, which happens to be pretty popular, and there's often a waiting list.
Oh.
You know, so like people show up, so they'll come in. People will scatter in a little bit when they're waiting for their.
That's good.
Yeah, so we will get some people. And like last week, someone came on for the first time. I don't remember his name. But he had, I think he must have had like 20 friends come.
Oh, wow.
So we really had some regular people
that's
that, yeah,
nice.
so that was fun.
It's nice to be at an open mic when there's people actually there and you could tell whether or not the jokes work rather than everybody just kind of zoning out. I got to make it to one of them.
You
one
do.
time. I
you know,
really do.
We're, I mean, I sit, obviously I'm sitting there with the timer. I laugh. Like, just come to my open mic because I'll laugh at you. You know, like, because I just get in the mode to like enjoy it. And being a comedian, well, you know, what it takes, like, to come up with a new joke, or when you know someone's set and then you see the way they did something clever, I'm like, because that's so great. I get excited for people.
I agree with you. When I go to open mics, I laugh. If it's funny, like, I'm going to laugh at it. I feel like so many people, they don't laugh because, like, I don't know. I don't know what it is why they don't laugh. Or they don't think it's funny, they're not paying attention, or they're just concerned with their own material, which I get, but, like, give it up for somebody. These are the people that you're with. Like, if you're going to be there, at least be there. You know,
Yeah.
laugh. I got to make it down though. I work on Wednesday nights as of now, but hopefully soon I won't be doing
Yeah.
that anymore and I'll be able to come.
Yeah, it's fun. It's starting to get crowded. You know, it starts off, like half a dozen people, but I think we're up to about 15 people that come pretty regularly.
How long have you been running it?
I want to say February or March.
Oh, that's
I guess
good.
March.
That's awesome.
Yeah, but it's nice, you
Yeah.
know. And, you know, it's close to where I am. You know, when you start with your own and find a place, like it's completely convenient for what I want,
Yeah,
you know.
of
And I'm
course.
sharing it with Stephen Perillo.
Okay.
And Mike Keegan, actually, the three of us together, because I didn't really want to start one and then be like completely stuck on Wednesday nights for
Right.
this. So Stephen, Mike, and I all agreed together. And we saw Mike once. We love you, Mike Keegan, but where
Okay.
you been? But Stephen comes every time, so he and I host most of them, so he'll host, like if I can't be there or to kind of
Oh,
give me a
that's
break.
good.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome. I'm happy for you that you
Yeah.
got that going. And it's lasting a long time. You know,
Yeah.
that's good that you made a little name for it.
Yeah.
Sometimes Jeannie again obviously is still out. She's at her brother's wedding this weekend, so I hope you're having fun in Georgia.
Have fun, Jeannie.
And usually we discuss current events and whatnot. And Muhammad Ali has passed away, and Kimbo Slice has passed away. All these fighters, it's like so sad. Were you a fan of boxing at all growing up? Your family members ever watched?
Well, I actually met Muhammad Ali when I was really young.
You did?
I remember it very clearly. What I don't remember is the advice he gave me. I was probably about 7 years old. It was in a restaurant in Manhattan. I was there with my parents, and they explained. I think he actually might have like said something to my parents about me, and then had me go over and talk to him. Yeah, like
Wow.
I think, you know, because I think they recognized
pretty
it.
cool.
It wasn't a big place. It was a small place, like, you know, tiny little place. And so I went over and he was talking to me for a while. I remember it as clear as day. I cannot remember one word that came out of that man's mouth.
was
But
like-
I mean, not even just now. No, at the time I knew. I remember having a conversation with him. But I'm sorry now that I don't remember.
Yeah.
You know, because I do specifically remember him giving me advice. And I do remember the feeling I had as a young person being like, this guy knows what he's talking about. This is important. Like, I remember that feeling.
Yeah.
Like, this guy's the deal. However you know that, it's 7, you know?
Gosh,
I know.
that stinks.
And I
You
had his
know,
autograph
That's cool.
on a napkin. I don't know where that is. So from 7 until now, I misplaced it.
I never really, I didn't even write, I didn't write anything on Facebook. People pass away all the time, and I'm not one of those people that writes like, oh, I'm so sorry to hear about
Yeah.
that. Prince I did, but we've lost so many people in 2016. I feel like, my goodness. But I don't write things because I don't know enough about them. I'm just like, it sucks.
Well, I haven't written about any celebrities, I don't think. What I do is when someone, you know, a family member passes, then
Yeah.
I'll say something to that person.
Yeah,
You know, a personal comment I'll make
right.
to them, so be supportive that way.
Now, when I don't know why this is something that interests me, but I used to write, when like my aunt passed away, my friend passed away, I used to write my Facebook statuses to them.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'd be like, I miss you so much, da, 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 da. And I'm like, they're not checking Facebook. Like now I address them as if they were, like, I don't know how to describe it. She was, like, I use it in the past tense now.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, I kind of feel silly writing it to them when they're not going to check it.
Well, in a way, it would almost be like, you know, it's kind of therapeutic, I guess I want to use the word, to write someone a letter.
Yeah.
So if you know, on Facebook, if you just put it there, it's almost like posting like a page of your diary or something.
Yeah.
It's not really,
That's true.
you
Public
know,
diary.
because if I were to read or anybody to read it, one way or another, we're going to identify, like
Right.
whether you're addressing that person or about them,
That's true.
because you're an artist.
Right.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I got to start writing some more. Not about death. I've wrote enough about death lately. Let's talk about rainbows and butterflies and super happy things. I don't know what those are like yet. I'll find out.
Day by day.
Yeah. So, there's not much, what else is going on in current events? Anything that struck your fancy lately that you were like, hey, that's interesting?
No.
No, right?
I'm sure there's a million things, but I'm not.
I don't watch the news. I never watch the news. It depresses me. I'm like, I got enough of my own problems. I'm depressed enough. I don't need to watch the news to make it worse. So I try not to. And then Jeannie usually has all the current event stuff, but then I just chime in with my
Yeah.
who cares about it stuff. But that's it. We're gonna wrap it up in our little segment here, and then we're gonna be back with Benny and hopefully Rhonda, if she's here, and we'll have Breaking Wind in a little bit.
I love the name of that.
Breaking Wind. You're watching the Gagootz Show on MadhouseTV.com.
So these are the current events.
These are the current events.
This is as much as you get for current events.
Yeah, people died.
Oh, God. And she put it on Facebook.
I did.
Until later.
Hello, I'm Dr. G. I've established an organization called Voices for Veterans. We use music to honor veterans and to help the public understand what veterans have gone through when they come home from war. On October 22nd of this year, we're going to have an incredible show, a 3.5-hour concert at Malloy College, one of the greatest 500-seat theaters on Long Island. We're going to honor 25 veterans. We've taken an incredible band, 15 people from Long Island, some of the best musicians we could find, and we merged it with a 30-person choir, merging gospel with rock and roll. This incredible 3.5-hour show is like none other that you've ever seen. This is Grammy quality. October 22nd, you can buy a ticket, you can make a donation, you can get involved, you can help us with the committee. You can look us up at veterans.org and go on our website and get all the information about the show. Please make a difference to these veterans by coming aboard with us with Voices for Veterans. Thank you so much. Hello, I'm Dr. G. I've established an organization called Voices for Veterans. We use music to honor veterans and to help the public understand what veterans have gone through when they come home from war. On October 22nd of this year, we're going to have an incredible show, a 3.5-hour concert at Malloy College, one of the greatest 500-seat theaters on Long Island. We're going to honor 25 veterans. We've taken an incredible band, 15 people from Long Island, some of the best musicians we could find, and we merged it with a 30-person choir, merging gospel with rock and roll. This incredible 3.5-hour show is like none other that you've ever seen. This is Grammy quality. October 22nd, you can buy a ticket, you can make a donation, you can get involved, you can help us with the committee. You can look us up at veterans.org and go on our website and get all the information about the show. Please make a difference to these veterans by coming aboard with us with Voices for Veterans. Thank you so much.
Being a fireman is more than just putting out blazes and giving kittens CPR. Sometimes my duty demands I fan the flames, like when a call comes in from a lady who needs immediate assistance. Maybe she needs help with a computer thing. Maybe she wants to go antique. Could be as simple as understanding that walking in heels it's hard. Aussi simple que l'été dernier à Paris. C'est sympa. Maybe it's ladies' night in, and she wants a simple, delicious recipe for margaritas with a twist. First, a can of limeade. Now hold on to this, you'll be using it. Side note, kittens make everything better. Next, add water. Now, a bottle of light beer. No, shh. Trust me, I'm a professional. And last, and most important, Sauza Blue tequila. Now, mix it up. Ole. Yes, that's what I'm trained for. Whether it's to help her choose leggings or pants, telling her leggings are pants, or discussing leggings and jeggings versus pant pegging at her next ladies' night in, I'll come to the rescue. Don't call me a hero. Just call me. Let me know what time.
Hi, I'm Benny Rizzuti,
And I'm Josephine Gladstein.
and this is Breaking Wind.
I'm so excited to be here, Betty. This is the second time that I'm back on the Gagootz show and this globe. I'm so excited to be here.
I know, where you been? It's been a year since you've been here.
Oh, well,
Yeah.
I've been all around, not the world, but just around. I've been dedicating some of my time to the cats. I help feed cats.
You help feed cats?
Yes, the feral feeders, we feed the cats.
And you also, do you still water plants?
I've been watering all the plants. A few of them died, like most of my relationships. But, it's been an ongoing road here for the Josephine.
I brought you a little surprise.
Is that a Mentos?
Mentos.
What are you trying to tell me, Betty?
Yeah.
That's why he's always so blunt. He's like, here, just take one. Your breath stinks.
Here you go.
Thanks.
Yeah. No, I need one too.
All right.
This is Breaking Wind.
This is breaking one. Maybe you should put one in your butt crack.
That's a good idea.
Yeah. So,
What's new?
I don't know. I just I'm always so excited to be back on this show because you guys are always so nice to me. I did that one time I put in the video and you guys responded to me and I was like, I can't believe I'm going to be on television. And here I am on the Gagootz show doing Breaking Wind. I feel like a celebrity here.
You could talk about anything you like on Breaking Wind. That's why we like breaking news. We break wind.
What do you have? Don't you have any questions to me?
Well, Muhammad Ali passed away.
I saw that. I saw him. I was so saddened by it. I was like, oh, Mr. Muhammad.
Do you know who he was?
No. I thought he was the man that lived next door that always knocked on the door and got mad because my cats would go in his yard. But then I later found out that he was a boxer, not my neighbor.
Oh, not your neighbor. Oh.
Yes. So that happened. How's Nancy? Where's my friend Nancy?
She's not here. She's working. If she knew you were going to be here, she's going to be very upset.
Oh.
But she can watch you.
She's driving the kids on the bus.
She's driving
I
the...
think I should help her. I should be one of those aides that goes on the bus. I say, sit down now. Nancy's driving the bus, and you better sit down.
Yeah, that was...
I could tell him.
So you would leave your florist, watering the plants, the garden?
I couldn't do that. I couldn't do that. The plants, they need me. They need me.
Now, this is called the Gagootz Show. And do you know what a Gagootz is?
Well, I believe you may have said to me last time that we're here that the Gagootz is I forgot.
It's a very long green zucchini, like a Italian zucchini.
Oh,
it's very long and green.
I love zucchini. I like to make zucchini boats. And you fill them with spaghetti squash.
And do you float the boat?
I always float.
Whatever floats the boat.
Whatever floats your boat. Yeah, my mother says that to me sometimes. I just love this whole thing. What does this say? Let me say. Say something silly, laugh till it hurts, take a risk, tell a secret. Sing out loud, rock the boat. What else does that last one say? Shake things up. Isn't that the same thing as rocking the boat? If I want to shake it up, I want to shake the boat. I'm just crazy. I'm just so excited about everything today, you guys.
I know. I'm so happy. We're having nice weather finally.
We are. We're having great weather. Finally the rain stopped. I was so sick of that rain, although it was good for the plants. I got to say, the greenhouse now, I got the sun shining in on it. My sunflowers are starting to sprout. It's amazing. It really is so good. It's so good.
Do you grow weed? Do you grow marijuana?
No.
No? Oh, yeah.
No.
Did you ever smoke it?
No.
No? Did you ever smell it?
No.
It smells like
I don't
somebody's...
do that.
It smells like somebody's passing wind sometimes.
It does?
Yeah.
Why would you want to smoke that?
Yeah.
Does it taste
That's
like
why
that?
people who smoke it, they call it good shit.
Ew.
They say, I'm smoking some good shit.
Yeah. Well, I don't want to smoke shit.
You don't have to say.
shit.
You don't have to say
I
that
don't like
word.
those words.
Feces.
The feces. I don't want to. I don't want to smoke feces. I don't like that.
Smeeces.
Feces. I don't want to smoke it. I'm not into it.
Okay. No, I just was asking because I know some gardeners like to grow
Do you?
Different things. No. I grow tomatoes and basil.
And basil. The basilico.
Basilico!
They're
Basilico!
no
Yeah.
Italian word. They're a little silly sounding, but you know what? That's what the sign says. Get silly.
In that video that you sent us, you said you were going for some spigadoos.
Big a deal.
Spigadeels.
Yeah. I ate them all. I got them and I completely ate them all.
So you love Italian bakeries.
I like Italian. I like cannolis. I like the struffola, and I mean I'm Jewish, but you know most of my friends are Italian, and their mothers always say, Josephine, your mother doesn't feed you. All you eat is that matzah. You gotta come over and have some of this. And they're making me meatballs and spaghetti, and they make all this special Italian food, and I'm like, I love it. And they, you know what I love the most though is the Italian bread, and they put a little oil and cheese and a little pepper, and you dip the bread in it. It's like the most amazing thing.
That's wonderful, yes.
It's so good.
That's,
Oh my goodness. And then sometimes, you know, I pick flowers out of the garden. I bring them to my friends' houses, but you know, that's all I have to offer because I can't cook. I'm not really allowed to go near the stove.
no?
No.
Why
Last
did
time I went by the stove, it wasn't a good time.
What happened?
I lit the house on fire. Yeah. I was making plantains.
Plantains?
Plantains.
That's like a banana type
Yeah, it was in the oil, and then all of a sudden it made a fire, and you're not supposed to put that in the water, and I did that. I put it in the water, and the house fired up. It was crazy. It was absolutely crazy.
A plantain blaze.
Yeah.
So, Josephine,
It was
before we go, do you have any plans for the summer?
Plans for the summer. I don't know. I live in the moment, you know. I just go with the flow. You guys invited me here to come to Gagootz, and I'm here. So I just go with it. It's amazing.
I was very happy to have you on.
Oh, thank you
I'm
so
very
much.
happy. You'll
Thank
be
you.
back. You'll
Oh,
be
I
back
hope so.
soon.
Please, I love being on this Gagootz show. You guys are the best.
So I'm Benny Rizzuti,
And I'm Josephine Gladstein.
and this has been Breaking Wind.
See you next time.
Hello, I'm Dr. G. I've established an organization called Voices for Veterans. We use music to honor veterans and to help the public understand what veterans have gone through when they come home from war. On October 22nd of this year, we're going to have an incredible show, a 3.5-hour concert at Malloy College, one of the greatest 500-seat theaters on Long Island. We're going to honor 25 veterans. We've taken an incredible band, 15 people from Long Island, some of the best musicians we could find, and we merged it with a 30-person choir, merging gospel with rock and roll. This incredible 3.5-hour show is like none other that you've ever seen. This is Grammy quality. October 22nd, you can buy a ticket, you can make a donation, you can get involved, you can help us with the committee. You can look us up at veterans.org and go on our website and get all the information about the show. Please make a difference to these veterans by coming aboard with us with Voices for Veterans. Thank you so much. Hello, I'm Dr. G.
Welcome to Formula Auto Wash, where every day is a great day for a car wash. Open 7 days a week from 8 a.m. to 5:30 p.m. Sundays 8 a.m. till 4 p.m. Detailing packages for every budget, starting out at $29.99. 100% hand wash and detail centre. Hogshair and microfiber brushes and mitts. Proudly using Ecolab Blue Coral soaps and waxes. Formula Auto Wash has served the community for over 30 years. Senior discounts all day, every day. Ladies' Day Wednesday, $3 off any wash. Early bird discount Monday through Thursday till 9:30 a.m. Check out our website, formulaautowash.com. Welcome to Formula Auto.
You smell so good, I won't have to bathe the next 2 weeks. Anything. So, here, laugh a little harder. All right?
I will take him. I would be proud to show you off, you little old weirdo man.
Get a new sweater. The worst dressed man here tonight.
Right. Look, get that laugh, and get it in there tonight because nobody else is going to laugh like her. She's under drugs, all right?
When summer comes and winter falls, the island ladies go to shopping malls. Take daddy's credit card and charge it all. They're living on an island. Oh, we're living on Long Island. Oh, you know it so much.
Welcome back, and we have a special guest, Rhonda Hanson.
Welcome back.
I'm so glad to be here.
Yeah.
You made it.
Yes, I did.
On LIE.
You know, some people are so inconsiderate when they choose to have an accident, you know.
Hey, like you have places to be.
I had things to do. But I'm here now.
Yes, I love your energy. Every time you come in, you're always smiling. You're always happy.
Oh, well, I feel like that's much better than being depressed.
It is.
I've done it, and it didn't work for me.
No, it didn't.
But I've spoken to some people who think that professional comedians are all depressed people. They're not always happy. But you are the opposite of that.
Well, I don't think we're all depressed people, but I think we all have something in us that makes us crave the attention of complete strangers in a dark room.
That's the truth.
There's different ways to go about that. You just choose to do it with a microphone.
Yes.
That's right.
Yes, absolutely. And I love your hair.
Oh, thank you. I
Yeah,
did this
always
yesterday.
Yes, it does. It
Always changing, constantly changing. That's not a song, but it is now.
Yeah, that's appropriate because her hair changes more than David Bowie's did.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it does.
And she looks great with it.
Thank you.
Yeah, You do, the blonde looking.
The last time I saw you, you were on your way to Los Angeles, I
Yes.
think, and having a great time out there.
Yeah, I did have a great time. Now I'm going to Vegas.
Ooh, I love Vegas.
Yeah.
I absolutely love Vegas. My memories of being there are working with the Pointer Sisters in Vegas.
Wow.
And I'm absolutely
What a show.
they are incredible entertainers, and they were so nice to me. And then after I did my work of opening for them with comedy, then I would go to the slots, sip Baileys and tea, and pull the lever. That's how long ago it was. They actually had a lever to pull.
Oh, yeah, now it's a
now you
button.
gotta push
That's right.
a button.
Wait, they don't have that no more at all?
No, you press buttons now.
That's the fun part.
I know. You know.
You need that right hand
Yeah.
exercise. We
Yeah,
gotta get that exercise.
You don't know.
That carpal tunnel
It's important
syndrome.
exercise.
No, I don't need that.
I didn't mean it that way. Sure, that's what you want to do. What gets pulled in Vegas stays in Vegas.
Hopefully.
Did you win any money out there?
I did. I used to do very well on the slots because I would limit myself to a certain amount of money, and then when I won, I would walk away.
That's smart.
Walk away. So I used to have just a great time, opening for people like Smokey Robinson and Anita Baker and
Wow,
Diana
that's
Ross
cool.
and Aretha Franklin. It was really great.
Oh,
and
man.
then after, being with them and doing their show and enjoying their audience, I would just go and have a little fun at the slots.
Yeah. What was like one of the best experiences you had out there?
Oh, well, the thing about it is I don't know if I could just pick one, because sometimes it would be the venue, like working at the Grand Ole Opry with Anita Baker. I mean, I had always heard about it, and I just couldn't even imagine either one of us at the Grand Ole Opry, and it turned out to be great.
Wow.
And then there
And
was
you did comedy opening.
opening with comedy, and then there was being at Radio City Music Hall. And walking down 6th Avenue and seeing my name on the marquee of Radio City Music Hall. I mean, even before we got to the show, I was like, "Oh my God!"
That's so awesome.
It was awesome. It really and truly was
picture?
awesome.
Not back then, right?
Oh, I've got it.
You got pictures?
I've got it. But we didn't have social media.
I'm going. Post it now.
I was ahead of my time.
Yeah.
Throwback Thursday.
Throwback Thursday.
Man.
And let me see, working with Diana Ross just because she was Miss Ross, she's
Yeah.
I don't. It just depends on the personality of the artist that I've been privileged to perform before, or the venue, or a particular crowd, just being right in that sweet spot.
How did you land these, like?
I had people.
Yeah.
It was
like,
a
where
time,
did this networking
it
start
was a time
from? Yeah.
when I had people.
Yeah.
And most of those people are dead now, but
They had people.
but I had people at the time. I had wonderful management. Dave Jonas, who was in the Friars, a member of the Friars, and Urban Arthur was my manager, my agent out in Hollywood. Now I don't have people, but I network on my own, and I get asked to do lovely shows like this. So here I am.
Yay!
Opening to Anita Baker to closing the Gagootz show. And just missing Breaking Wind.
Oh, it's all in the timing. It's all in the timing.
Oh, it's funny. Well,
I was just in Los Angeles in April doing something that was a lot of fun. It was called the Comics Rock Convention.
okay.
And it was a wonderful experience for me. Not only did I learn some things and run into a few of my old friends like Shang, the comedian Shang, he was giving a workshop there, but one of my favorite comedians, Lunel, was hosting the showcase that I did. And I mean, to be with her, to have her introduce me, to be around her, and to when you're with someone that you admire like that so much, it's just incredible. So that was a lot of big fun for me, the Comics Rock Convention in LA. But enough about me. Why don't we talk about me?
You have great stories though, and you've been performing professionally for a long time back, and you were performing back when there weren't that many comedians.
Well, when
So they
I
were the real-
started, actually, you knew everybody who was on your coast. I started at the original Improv and the original Catch a Rising Star, and so when you walked in there, you knew every single person who was doing comedy on your coast, and then once you had a chance to travel, then you started to get to know the other people. But I've been fortunate. I have really, really and truly been fortunate to have had a chance to work with like some of the best people. You know, you don't really. Sometimes you don't even really understand how great the people are around you. And that's why now I decided I always have to appreciate every single person that I come in contact with. Because you know, you it's not because you don't know what they're going to be doing, but because we deserve that kind of respect from each other for our talent and our experiences, you know? And not just going, what are you going to do for me now? You know, you got a show for me? Well, you know, that kind of thing. Because that competitiveness really cuts you off from being a real human being with people. Yeah.
I think I forgot how to be a real human being.
Well, because you love doing characters, is that why?
Yeah, that's one of them.
You're very genuine. You're very genuine.
I love her.
Yeah, no, you're very
Thanks.
You're very welcome.
I met her, you know, I met her, and within 4 hours, I decided that I wanted to do a show at Madhousetv, and I wanted to do it with her.
I can understand
we are.
that.
And here we are.
Yeah,
Almost 2 years later.
2 years later, doing what we do.
50 hairstyles.
I know.
Shaving your head. 50
Well, you know,
We shaved my head
I
off on
wanted
it.
to say you look a little different. You look a little different.
We shaved it on TV.
Yeah.
Oh my God, that must have been exciting.
We had to get rid of those 4 hairs on your head. There was like 4 of them. They were just like alfalfa sprouting around. They
I
were
like this.
Hey, how's it going? Good. Everything's great. Yeah, we're here too. Go away. Get rid of them. We had to get.
It's very attractive
Thank you.
on you.
Oh, thank you.
You're
Thank
lucky you have a well-shaped head.
Thank you very much. I'm glad you told me that. People call me Lex Luthor. I think they're glad they call me
That's
Lex.
not a bad thing because you look very handsome. You look very distinguished.
Thank you.
But no, not everybody has like a head shape that beautiful. You know, no, some people
Some people have lumps.
Yes, they have lumps. They have bumps. They look like they're carrying groceries back there or something.
We could have like an X-Men show, and you could be like Professor Xavier.
Yeah,
and,
we
you
come in
know.
a wheelchair.
Oh yeah.
That's what I could do for Halloween.
I'll be Mystique.
You could be Mystique.
She's awesome. And Jeannie could be probably Rogue because anybody who touches her, she might might kill him.
That's right. Yeah, that's Jeannie.
Yeah, that would be good. You guys could pick whoever you want to be if you want to come and be those characters.
A
superhero.
The Halloween
I'll
show.
have to think about who I would.
Yeah, if you want to come on the Halloween show, we'll book you now.
There's something about dressing up, and becoming another character fully that is very exciting and very freeing.
It is. You get to be whoever you want.
Yeah.
Well, you just did it a couple of minutes ago.
Yeah.
I did an audition on tape for a role called God. God called on the carpet. God was being called on the carpet for some errors in creation. And I loved it. I loved it. She talked like this. And she was the kind of person who was very sweet, very nice, very loving, and she would just get a little distracted because she smoked a plant that she had created. And once she got distracted, she started thinking, giant lizards, that would be nice. That kind of thing.
That's great. Now, I just want to say, I saw your act back in the early years.
And
I
I
remember
had people.
when you had people, when you had people, and it was an honor to meet you. And when I saw in your act, you did a Jamaican woman.
Oh
That was like amazing. You
Nurse
did that.
Braithwaite.
Is that?
Do you know, I was just, before I came here, I was at Broadway Comedy Club for a laughter lunch with Comedy Cures, and I closed with Nurse Braithwaite. I did. And she's an angel of mercy. She is a wonderful person who works at Beth Israel Hospital, and she goes, quiet down in here, who's ringing that bell? I'm no chambermaid, you know, I'm a registered nurse. Bedpan, you want a bedpan? Catch it. So I love that.
I remember. I you know. Her. It's memorable, not to always say like, you were back in a long time ago. But
I was back a long time ago.
But it was memorable.
Yeah,
it was. I still remember that. I'm so glad you did it because I was thinking of that. Rhonda's coming on, and I remembered. Because I remember you talked about a plastic surgeon. He's going to make you look like an Andy Warhol or Picasso.
And it's so funny that people, remember a lot of these punchlines that I was doing like decades ago, and I love that. You just made me quell. You just made me. I know, because it really is something to know that people have actually listened to you, that you've done something memorable, that you've touched their lives, in some way, because sometimes you're on the other end. Like one of the times that was not the greatest one, I was with Anita Baker. We were going to Greenville, South Carolina, and she was in North Carolina, and I had to go on. And we waited and waited and waited, and then finally they put me on once they finally knew that she was coming to the right venue. And I got out there on the stage in front of people who had been standing for about 45, 50 minutes. And I got out there and they started going, you're not Anita, you're not Anita, you're not Anita. And you work, you do as well as you can, you do your job. And I got off that stage and I just prayed. I was just so happy to be off that stage by the time I got, because they were waiting for the star. Any other time they would have laughed at me and enjoyed me. Through my entire set, they went, you're not Anita, you're not Anita. And once I knew she was there, they actually had to help me off the stage because I couldn't see.
You're like, I need to get out of here.
I couldn't see, I couldn't hear, and I thought someone was going to snatch me up in my throat.
Oh, wow.
But luckily she came out and did her thing. I got to tell you, there is nothing like working with these super talented people. I mean, most nights I would just sit and watch them enthralled, because they're so great and have such great command with the audience, and the people love them. They really love them.
Yeah.
It's inspiring.
Yeah, that's awesome.
But with comedians, then, I want to go back to that and ask you a question, but I want to say, with comedians, even now, all of you know, there are you'll be in a room where there are people and all of a sudden somebody's got to go up and they'll say, blah, 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 it's going up. And everybody, you might be hanging out at the bar, so you all run in the room because you want to see that.
Well, when
you were one of those people.
Thank you.
Because I remember my friends, who you know also, they used to always talk about Rhonda Handsome, and you have to see, and when I finally saw you, it was beyond my expectations.
Oh my God!
How
Thank
great.
you. That really is nice.
Yeah.
For me, I would always go in when I was at Catch a Rising Star. I would always go in to see Gilbert Gottfried. He was he would come in from doing a gig either in Jersey or wherever he was, and he'd come in there and he would just be crazy. And sometimes the audience just didn't know what to make of it. And we would go in just to see, okay, how many people are going to, just stay to watch it. It was an exciting time, I have to tell you, because the clubs would stay open until the last patron.
Yeah, that's right.
Yes. Sometimes the shows would go till 2:00 in the morning. I mean, and there was always people waiting to get up, wanting to get up, and it was a very exciting time, especially at Catch a Rising Star. Bill Maher was the MC a lot, or Adrian Tolsch, and Belzer was always in there. Robin Williams would pop in, and Chris Rock was a lot at the Strip. I worked at all of them, but some of the clubs you feel like was your home club, and I felt Catch was my first place where I was passed. And now it's like But I gotta tell you, there were not only were the houses packed, but they were packed with celebrities. You know, there were always, you know, like movie stars or singers coming in. Oh, especially like a Catch a Rising Star, because Pat Benatar was managed by, you know, by the owner. But now it's different because you have to bring the audience.
Yeah,
I mean,
tell
there
me
were
about
like,
it, yeah.
I mean, there were people there until 2:00 in the morning at at the Improv and at Catch a Rising Star. And now I don't envy, you know, people who are starting now, because not only are you working on your act, you're trying to get your voice, you know, understand, you know, what it is you have to say, you know, really get, you know, your timing and all of that, and then you also have to constantly be doing audience development and you know, they call them bringer shows. The first time I heard that expression, I didn't know what the heck it was, and it's torture.
People's
That's
attention
what it
span
is. It's torture.
Their attention span is of a fly these days, where like this, they're like distracted. You know what I mean?
And
like
the shows are 2 hours is a long show. It's like,
yeah.
you know. And I remember even on Long Island, East Side Comedy would, on Wednesday nights, they would build up. They would have, it was like an open mic, but you didn't have to bring people because it was packed.
Every comedy place,
every comedy club out here was
all
the
time.
And what they would do was they would open with some people. They would have a good MC like Hal Spear, who went on
Hal
to be.
Spear, and
I remember Hal Spear,
back.
and then in the middle of the show, they would have the Laughter Company with Rosie O'Donnell and Bobby Nelson and Dave Hawthorne.
Oh my God!
Craig Schumacher, who wound up in the.
I'm gonna start crying. I'm going down memory lane so fast. I got whiplash here.
And then the show, after the Laughter Company, that was the height of the show. But now other comics would go on, and every once in a while there would be somebody would walk in. Rob Bartlett would walk in. You know, and go on. Oh, Bobby Nelson would decide, I want to go up and do a few minutes.
Bob Woods around Mound of Sound.
Bob Woods around Mound.
I got to tell you, even though Catch and the Improv were my home clubs, a lot of people thought I was a Long Island comic because I was out here all the time. I started at Governor's, actually.
Really?
With Jackie Martling. He gave me my first paying gig, and he still owes me a little money.
Jackie.
No, he's a sweetheart, absolute sweetheart. And I used to work out here almost all the time, and then not only in the clubs, but also doing some of the male strip shows, which was my favorite thing to do. And at Escapes in, I guess that's Merrick, Long Island.
I remember that place.
Yeah, like Julian Dean, right? Julian Dean.
Yeah.
I don't remember comedians. You'd open up at those shows, really?
Yeah, an MC. So I would say, and here it comes, da 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 da. Yeah.
I went to. I didn't notice you if you were there. Sorry.
That's all right. It's okay.
She was looking beyond.
I don't even remember.
There were other things to be
There was an
seen.
MC.
And the money was good then.
Oh, I loved it. Well, that was the other thing. There were so many gigs like that. You would either go out to Long Island or New Jersey, you do your gig, and then you would come into the city and then do another set, you know, or sometimes even a couple of sets, and that was every night of the week. Every night of the week.
Even Monday?
Well.
I know Monday seemed to be
a slow down.
But Sunday was, Bobby Nelson had his own show out here on Sundays. John Mulrooney at the other club.
John Mulrooney, I just remember that he could move those pecs. He could move his pecs.
But not his face.
Well, he didn't have as much as you do.
Look in the camera when you do that.
Look in the camera.
We can get 10,000 views. Come on, grab him, juggle him. There you go. All right, 10,000 views.
Yeah.
You hurt yourself?
Yeah. I called a boom.
She did that last
She's got to
week.
stretch out her muscles now.
So, I'm going to spin the wheel.
Oh, well, yes, I've been hearing about the wheel.
We got a little time left. Might as well see what we come up with.
Okay.
Let's see. Dun dun dun.
Strangers on the train.
Oh my gosh. That's so funny that you, what happens now? What happens then? Because I have a line of
Oh my God!
Okay.
Wait, what happens?
Whatever you want to say is what happens.
Yeah.
Well, you see, I got divorced, but I was trying to like keep things, spicy. I knew something was going wrong, and so my husband at the time, we were out at a restaurant, and I said to him, "Do you want to role play?" And he goes, "What's that?" I said, "Let's make believe we're strangers on a train meeting for the very first time."
Yes.
He goes, "Okay." So I sidle up to him and I go, "Oh, hello, stranger. How are you enjoying the trip so far?" He goes, "They lost my luggage." And the saddest part of it is it's actually true. Yeah. Oh my gosh. So now what's supposed to happen, strangers?
We tell stories.
A story about strangers on a train.
We've told train stories. We've told different strange train. Annie, you take the train a lot.
Oh yeah.
Strangest thing you've seen on a train? You could do.
One time I saw a young girl flirting with a much older guy, right? And the guy is just all puffed up and, because she's 20-something, he's, 40s, 50s, and he's all there laughing and giggling. And along comes the conductor and asks for tickets. And she says, oh, I can't find my ticket, right? So now all of a sudden the guy's like,
he didn't want to.
I think
her. Because he went from being to didn't recognize her.
Where's my newspaper?
He was being scammed.
That's funny. She was trying to pull the moves.
Yeah, could you pay for he would have paid for the ticket, right?
No. I saw a lady icing a cake once on the subway. She had a full-blown cake. She pulled icing out of things. She had the knife. She had the whole thing. And she was just icing this cake and going for it. I'm like, there's so many dirty people breathing around and just coughing and whose cake is that?
Whose cake is
that? Who's bringing that
cake
to?
For someone that she really doesn't like.
Yeah. That's what I was thinking. I'm like, oh my God. I was waiting for her to be like, happy birthday, bitch.
It was implied.
Yeah.
What about you?
I told my friend, I told 2 train stories last time that were, one about, there was a woman that was talking to her children, but the children weren't there on the subway.
Oh my God.
She was and telling them, make sure you have a hat, it's very cold on it.
This is frightening.
But, yeah, and she was she was talking to the tiles in the subway station and stuff.
Oh wow.
But I thought she was normal. She was acting like that so nobody would bother her in the subway. I still
do you know I do that on Southwest planes? Southwest, you get to pick your seat, right? So I always try to get the A group so you can get on first. And then as soon as people come on, I start talking to myself or I'll start coughing, really really disgusting so people don't want to sit next to me. They're like, oh, no, she's sick, I'm good. And I'm sprawled out yes, this is amazing. Yeah, so
brilliant.
In the city, you see a lot of people who walk and start yelling at somebody who isn't there, and I wonder if they're all really...
But now, because everyone is on the phone or on a device, you're not quite sure, are they really mad at their significant other or are they having a schizophrenic episode? It's
it could be both.
It could be both. It could. The trains in New York City are really fascinating to me, and it's very interesting because I have to go through Grand Central a lot. I'm traveling in from the Bronx, okay? I'm coming in from the Bronx. And the thing about it is, when it's a rush hour and suddenly you see that there's a space, that you can get on and actually get a seat to travel, and then you realize it's someone's bedroom, or toilet, and it's it's a little sad. It's a little sad, and then I feel so selfish. I swipe my card. I deserve a scent-free zone.
Yeah, I think that's what I'm gonna. My next day off that I have nothing to do, I'm just gonna buy a train ticket. and just ride the subway all day.
Oh, there's a lot going on. I call it Cirque du Subway. You heard of Cirque du Soleil? It's Cirque du Subway. You can get food, you can get snacks, all the snacks
Entertainment.
you want. You get the entertainment.
You can make financial donations to charities.
Absolutely. But the entertainment goes like an international gamut, you know. you don't know if it's going to be a mariachi band or gospel singers or R&B. You know, it really is fascinating.
I like
So you're gonna have a
like
good
the
time.
acrobatics while the train is moving.
Oh,
That is
yeah.
impressive
Don't you
to
love
me.
that?
And they miss
Especially-
the poles.
Yeah.
You're like,
I remember a man who was walking through and he said he was from another planet and his spaceship broke down and he needed money to buy parts for his spaceship.
It's reasonable.
So, and he was asking people for money to rebuild his spaceship.
That's creative.
That was creative. And I remember another guy, he wasn't on the train though.
was he
had
handing out Kool-Aid?
He had a picture frame. And he used to walk around and say I was framed into poverty. But I knew him so much because I was hanging out at my friend's.
There are some people who actually do jokes on there too. There was, you
Yeah.
know, funny people walking through there.
That is cool.
We had so much fun. We're starting to run out of time.
Yeah, we got a few
Oh my
minutes
gosh.
left.
How did that
minutes, what do you
happen?
want?
A half hour?
I
That's
know,
crazy.
and we did no commercial break. So we just had a good time.
We had a great
Time
time.
flies when you're having fun.
I loved listening to you.
Oh,
I
thank
loved
you.
listening to your stories.
I'd hated listening to
Yeah,
you.
Annie, listen, no, I love Annie. Annie,
Wait, I love you too.
and let me tell you,
It's a big love fest
you,
this year.
you set a record. Do you know you are the first guest to be on the Gagootz Show 5 times?
Thank you.
Come on, 2,000. I want 2,000.
I'll shake
views.
him up with you.
Bring me back for Sid.
Hey, wait, I'm a 60-year-old man. I got them too. 60 years old, I got this.
I broke the record.
You did.
Yes.
Oh my God.
Yes, I'll tell you later, but 5 times.
Awesome.
You were, this is your second time as a co-host
Yeah.
and 3 times as a guest.
Wow.
Look at
With,
you.
one time without me, when Nicole
Yes. Yeah, with Wild
3
Collins, yeah.
times a lady.
was...
And I didn't even wear lipstick.
Oh.
Oh my goodness! I forgot to put mine on too.
Okay, good.
All right.
We're good.
All right. 3 more times you get the blazer. You see?
No, they'll have shaved my head off.
No, we
No.
wouldn't do that to you.
No,
No,
we're gonna paint my head one
Just
day.
Benny.
Oh,
I
my
like
God!
that
That
thing.
I'm thinking of an eyeball.
Eyeball?
An eyeball.
I think I'm gonna do something else.
We're doing... Oh no! Uh-oh.
and she
Like a
has
head.
a glint in her eye.
It's gonna be
too.
sexual. I see.
You think?
An egg. You can do like an egg.
Yeah, that wouldn't
Yeah,
be it.
no.
No.
It's gonna be real crazy.
Humpty Dumpty on the back. You're gonna have Humpty
You
Dumpty.
know, Humpty Dumpty really pisses me off.
Why?
First of all, what kind of egg, right? I understand if you were an egg and you fell off the wall, like you cracked. I get it. But Humpty Dumpty in the book was drawn with arms and legs. What kind of egg was drawn with arms and legs and falls and can't catch himself? Why'd you give him arms and legs? I don't understand.
He's so out of balance.
That's great. I never
He's top
thought of
heavy.
that.
Yeah.
He's top heavy.
Like, can you imagine, like, what are you supposed to do with
But
your
I'm
arms?
serious.
He's got a round ass.
And he does, but any Humpty Dumpty that, I mean, we all fall down, I get it, but I mean, don't give him arms and legs then, just let him be an egg.
And how many freaking birds were inside of him? Right?
Birds?
Oh no, that was the.
Inside.
No, I thought the
what
birds
child
flew out,
did
but
you
that
have?
was the pie. That was
Pie.
the
Yeah,
pie.
I'm like, maybe just one bird.
20 to answer
If they
the
didn't
question.
cook it, it might turn into a bird.
Yeah, but I was thinking when he cracked, the birds came. But no, that was another. I'm mixing up my
Your nursery
my
rhyme, that's
nursery
okay.
rhymes. Yeah.
Anyway,
And we're gonna have one of those on the wheel, mixed up nursery rhymes.
yeah, I like
Yeah,
that.
there
That's
you
a good one. We're gonna have to make up a nursery rhyme. Is there anything you guys would like to plug before we leave tonight? Anything
I
coming
would
up?
just like people to look for me on social media, like on Instagram, on Twitter at Rhonda Handsome or Rhondaful on Instagram, One Funny Negro on something. I'm on everything.
And
Periscope.
you were the Passion at one time when
Well,
you direct
I
plays.
direct plays under Passion, yes.
Under
You know, oh my God, yeah, I love that. I love directing. So call me if you have a play you want me to direct.
Excellent.
Annie?
And I got an open mic at One Eye Jack's on Wednesdays in Bethpage.
Awesome.
Yeah.
I have a show June 17th coming up at the Brokerage at the 10:30 show. So if you'd like to make a reservation, I will be there. It'll be a good time. I'm excited about it.
Always a good time with you.
Yeah, thanks. And no, I don't think everybody would agree with that. But
and I have a show on June 17th, but it's early and it's in Bethpage, and it's at my Big Fat Greek Bistro.
Oh, and they're going to do shows there? Cool.
Yeah, they're doing shows there. It's with Barry Ribs and Greg the
I
Greek.
love Barry Ribs.
Barry Ribs, Greg the Greek,
Oh
and
my
Janice
God.
Massetti.
They're both friends of mine. Oh,
Yeah,
how
it's with them on the
wonderful.
17th.
That's going to be a great show.
And also, my Big Fat Greek Bistro happens to be a sponsor of the Gagootz show for tonight's show.
Well,
It's
they're
a
very
great
smart
restaurant.
to do that. They're very
It's a
smart.
fantastic restaurant.
I love
it
Greek
is.
food,
Yeah.
so
That's a
I
good
want to
one.
be
Awesome.
there.
Well, thank you guys so much for joining us tonight and
my
being here. We
pleasure.
love having
Thank
you,
you.
and hopefully we'll have you back again because
Thank
it's always
you.
so much fun. And we will see you next Tuesday, as Jeannie Powers would say. Have a great night and be safe, y'all. Bye.
Good night, and thank you, Josephine
Oh,
Gladstein.
Josephine Gladstein.
And
She'll be
happy
back.
birthday, Steve-O.
Oh my gosh!
Steve-O,
Happy
say happy birthday, you old bastard.
Some people live in the city. Some people live in the country. Others live in the mountains. Me? I live on an island. Long Island. I live in Hicksville most of my life. I have a Some people live in the city.